Now, there's one thing I want to do right now is I want to get certain things out of the way, and that is building the inner frame. And in the past, I've always built the inner frame without me showing it to you. And I thought maybe it would probably be a good idea to build a portion of the inner frame so you guys can understand, you know, what to expect on this kit if you guys buy this on your own. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this poly cap here and stick it onto this, followed by this square peg, put it in there, and you're going to forgive me, I didn't see the manual properly. It has to be like that. There we go. Now, some parts will require you to put on some of the outside armor, like this part here, which needs something to go in here. And the reason why you need this, we'll take these two, put it in this position, and for those of you who don't know what this is actually the actual seating, the cockpit, which I am not going to put, of course, our good old pal Zex Marquise. And then this one goes under like that, here. This one, supposedly, this one has to slide this in through here, like so. And then we close this up like so. So it looks like that. And then of course bringing this down will allow you to see the internal. There we go. Next one, we'll need this. That goes here. There's another part here that I think you may have to put it in prior to putting this one in. You know what? Let me see. G1. So take a quick glance at this. Yeah, it's part of the white parts. Oh, here it is. So I wonder if I can put this on. It says here to put it on first, and then put this one in. Oh no, you don't have to put it on first. Alright, good. Will be painted. Excellent. These are things that you gotta, you know, I have to make sure that I'm doing it right. Now then, next part is these two here. This one goes like that. This peg here. One goes in here, and the other one goes in here. I should make a note. I'm now noticing that the polycaps now have the same pressure point connection that you normally see on SD kits. So it's interesting, you know, they're moving on to a different direction with the assembly of these parts. The next one is you'll need this. I gotta look at this right. This, like, I think it's this way. No, the other way is right. Followed by this. Stick it like that here. Stick this like that here. And this one will go here. And the other will go here. So it looks like that. and then this part will go under and over like this, which I'll put it on like that. So here's a portion of the torso, which of course there's more features to this. The connection for the bottom part, which I could probably look for it, but I guess we'll have to worry about that another time. Alright, but this is what the torso will look like without, of course, the outer armor. Next part of the build is going to be the inner frame of the arm of the Tallgeese. Again, reviewing the manual. It says here to start building the arm, but I want to do the shoulder first. This is a little easier. And there are two types of shoulders that have, two types of joints that look identical. You got to be very careful which one you use. But I wanted to point out that when you build this, make sure you sand this down pretty well. So that way when you paint it, you don't see the scar marks there. I don't know if this part of the build will show through under the shoulder armor. I will look into that and see what I can do to adjust it and clean it up a bit. Now the joints is a bit weird. First things first, you want to take this part. I'm going to put this polycap in there. Then this one. Put this polycap in there. I gotta also make sure that it's nice and clean. Okay. Now, taking this in this position, you want to take this part, stick it in like that, and take this part, stick it in like that. So it does look exactly like this. Odd, isn't it? Don't worry, we'll get to I'll explain more as we close this up. So close this up so that way it's like that. Then take this, put this in here, and by the way, it gives you a little false sense of the fact that this is not a large kit. Even though Tallgeese looks big and bulky and powerful, it's not that big, trust me, and you'll see this in a few moments. Then you stick this part over here through this. So this is the actual forearm, which has this bent look to it. Now there's some armor here and there that you have to put in, and especially this one where you have to put in through another armor part. But it's the actual connection between the lower part of the arm and the upper part of the shoulder. This will be removed, of course, so that way I can slide in the armored parts and stuff like that. But this completes the arms, as you can see. Another thing, of course, is the fact that the hands, and this is what surprised me, the hands are the blue hands. They're not. I was under the distinct impression that it was going to be this color, but no, the blue is actually part of the hands. So put them on here so you guys can see this firsthand, so to speak. There it is. Very neat, huh? Cool. Alright, let's go on to the next part. Okay, the next part of the build is going to be the legs of the Tallgeese. And we're going to begin with the feet. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this part, this polycap here that goes there, then this polycap that goes there, and close it up. I'm going to review this part and make sure that there's nothing that I have to resand down a bit here and there. But there is something unique about this part, which I'll show you in a moment. Next up is the foot itself. I'm glad that it's a more solid part than a 2 to 3 part foot. So getting a little sick and tired of it. But this one, it's one solid part. As you can see, that goes through here. And then the polycap serves as the connection to the Tallgeese's tootsies. So as you can see, I can go up and down with this. Now, going back to this, there's a little notch there that sticks up. That goes into the front, like that. So make a note of that, alright? So the foot is done. Next up is the remaining part of the legs. And quite surprising, this leg, considering that how big and bulky the leg are, you think this would have more parts. We'll cover that in a moment. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to assemble the joint of the legs. I'm going to take this poly cap here, stick it through this, and then cover it up like so. I want to stress the fact that, oh well, it's not going in through all the way. Let's try that again. I want to stress the fact that you have some, some scar markings here of you removing the part from the tree. So once I'm done with this video, I'm going to start sanding it down and cleaning it up. I'm going to clean up all of them so that way at least it shows pretty well, especially down here if I want to make sure this thing turns. So this part is done. Next up, and I'm missing a part here, there it is. We'll take this part here, flip it down like that. You'll need this part that goes here, like that. And then this part here, which slides into place like so. Right there. Now, this is actually the lower part of the leg, which I was a bit surprised that I thought it would be seeing some more features, but I forgot that the Tallgeese's legs is not uniformly straight going all the way down. It has thin legs and a massive calf legs. Don't know why they did that, but that was the overall feature at the time when they were making the Tallgeese. It was part of the Leo. It was basically an overpowered Leo. All right, so in this position, you take this part here, and then you slide this part in here, like so. Then you have this part. Make sure that this area of the part goes here. Slide that in, and then close it up. And I should also mention that this part here of this part of the connection, make sure it's in the bottom, so it looks like that. Now, these two parts here, in the manual, it says that you have to hook them up like this, and this part here, this entire section is held up by one of the white parts. I have it on one of my alligator clips, so I'm not going to pull it out right now, just so I can demonstrate it, even though I'm showing you another part here that should also be ready later on. I'll explain that in a moment. So make sure this one is clear, so you can put it like that, and then right here, slide that in here, and then there are two holes on each side of this where you can clamp them on, and it should stay into place like so. There we go. So the effect, of course, well, actually no, I made a mistake. The effect is not done yet, because in order for the poly cap to be placed on this leg to support the foot, you need to actually take the yellow trim, which will soon be the gold trim, and then put it like this. So now when the leg moves, there you go. Kind of cool, isn't it? Nevertheless, I am surprised at the least amount of features that this leg has. And then, of course, finally, you put this part here. That part here. And then you have the assembly of the legs. Very few in features, but pretty big. Yeah, they're pretty big. Very good detail, too, but I'm glad that at least the Tootsies are not going to be making this kit fall forward all the time. I hope they are stiff enough to stay where they are. Alright, let's move on to the next part.